Oh, we don't want to look down at it. Oh, it's Blasted or Stash It, episode 45. It is Good Friday, but when you got comics, it is Great Friday. And we got a special guest tonight with us, it's DruManchu, and we're going to go and jump to him with his movie quote for the night.
All right. Your daddy was a no-talent pussy, but at least he listened.
Oh, man.
I don't even know that. Mike, that seems like your alley.
What? Just because it has pussy in it? Just, it sounds so familiar.
I'm lost. What decade? Do we have a decade on that?
I believe it was late 90s. Might have been 2000s.
Nope, I'm lost.
No, giving up.
Yep, I'm giving up.
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, I was thinking comic book
movie. You're thinking comic book movie?
I didn't have any comic book movies. No.
My favorite scene in that whole movie is when they're in the backyard and he's throwing the football, trying to hit that can off the guy's head. The drunk mom goes, "Yeah, no!"
I couldn't find the exact quote, but I love the one where he's like, "They ain't nothing but panty droppers. Getting a couple blanket and a few beers, panties drop." It's nice, very nice.
Mikey, go on to you. What's your quote?
All right, a few people have jumped in the chat. Super Sarah stuff. Glad to see Comically Flawed. Airborne Sapper, comic fan. Thank you very much for my packages. You are the best. The great legend himself are in here. Jason Smith, as always, is in here. BGG was waiting patiently, and here we are. My quote is in lieu of the start of the hockey playoffs. It's a sports movie. So, here we go.
Space Jam. It's got to be Space Jam.
Yeah, you hush your Funko mouth.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
When you pull that, when you put that on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And the name of the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Get that through your head. From 2004.
Oh, The Goon.
No.
Oh, that's the only hockey movie I know. That's that.
Miracle.
It is Miracle. Thank you very much for getting that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Necessary Roughness until he said 2004. Oh my god.
Well, the Goon, Miracle, not much difference in those storylines, are there?
I was waiting for a Slapshot quote.
Yeah, I was thinking it might have been Slapshot too.
Yeah, I could have done it. BGG said Mighty Ducks. No.
Whoa.
Okay, jumping on to Trinity. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Mine is a comic book movie, and it goes, I bet your parents taught you that you mean something, that you're here for a reason. My parents taught me a different lesson, dying in the gutter for no reason at all. They taught me that the world only makes sense if you force it to.
It sounds like I can't think of it. Oh, dang it. Watchmen, that's all I can think of.
Nope.
No, you're a gutter. I think Watchmen.
Right,
Sin City?
No.
Daredevil?
No.
Oh, I'm fresh out of ideas here.
That is BVS.
Batman vs. Superman, that's it.
Oh. And mine is not a comic movie. I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude pretending to be another dude.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, yes it is. Oh, okay, so now we're done with our quotes. We'll jump right into the comic review portion of our show. And as always, we start with our guest. Go ahead, DruManchu. What's your first book you got this evening?
All right, let me see if I can't find it down here. I'll put it over here. Spencer and Locke #1 from Action Lab Comics. This is a fantastic book, a definite stash. I can't wait to read the next couple of issues. It's a hard-boiled detective story with the caveat that
Did we lose him?
it's a The main character grows up to be a detective, and his partner, if you can see there, is a giant panther, is still his imaginary friend. There's a murder mystery involving his schoolyard sweetheart, and this book is hilarious and also for mature readers as well. Some really great stuff in here, and I definitely think everybody should find a way to find this #1 from Action Lab. I've never read anything from Action Lab, honestly. The clerk at my shop held this for me when I came in to pick up my pull list. He said, I think you're going to like this, and he was absolutely right. This book is phenomenal.
So it's like a Calvin and Hobbes growing up? Is that what?
Yeah, man. It's like Calvin and Hobbes. Let me show you some of the interior art. It kind of does some flashbacks to when he was a kid, and it's definitely Calvin and Hobbes inspired. See that there?
Yeah.
But they're cops now, and there's a murder mystery.
Huh. Is it a continuing story, or is it a miniseries?
I don't know anything about it other than I picked it up. It looks like it's going to be ongoing. I'm hoping that it's ongoing. There's some, here he is in the diner. They're discussing the case, and then the waitress comes by, and you can see it's a stuffed animal he's talking to.
Huh, that's going to be an interesting dynamic in the story.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And, there's him and the girl that got murdered right there, playing outside as kids. Real cool story. Really enjoyed it.
I don't think anybody else picked up that book this week.
No, but I have a special shout out.
Oh, you go do your shout out and you do your first book, Mike. How about that?
All right. Let's check the chat real quick. I know a lot of people have jumped in. Stephen Higgins just jumped in. Area 51 and Area 51. I did not book that flight to California yet, but it's in the works. Jock Yo. Who else? Tats Comics. Hey, Drew. Tats Comics says he really loves your channel. I don't know if you could see the chat there.
Word on, man. Yeah. I'm trying to follow it on my phone.
Gotcha. JLS Comics is in here. And one special shout out I want to do, BGG said his wife, Mrs. BGG, is watching in the background, and just want to say hi to her. You need to be in more of your husband's videos. I love it. But anyway, my first book, get away from me, dog. Please. Get away from me. No, that's not the book. Let's do Rose #1. Let's see here. Rose #1. So this is basically a fantasy tale about a girl named Rose, go figure, who is gifted with magic, and in this kingdom, magic is forbidden by the evil queen Drusilla. Awesome name there. She wants all magic users to be destroyed. Basically, Rose's village is burned down and her mother is killed. So she heads out and runs into what I'm assuming are the rebels. And yeah, I don't want to give too much more of it away, but it's an easy read. But what I really loved about this, it had hints of Dragon Age 2. I don't know if any of you guys are gamers, play Dragon Age 2 with the whole magic thing and being forbidden and stuff. But bonus thing about this book, both Drusilla and Rose are freaking hot. So this was a stash for me.
Yeah, man. A lot of strategically draped nipple coverings.
How about you, Jeremy? I don't think you picked up that book, did you?
No, I didn't.
I got the book too. I thought it was pretty good. The story itself is nothing new. I mean, we've heard this story multiple times. If you've watched Conan like that, it's kind of the same thing. And family gets killed. I mean, there's magic added to it as well. But the arts, I think it does pretty good for the most part. There's one here where what was her name, Mike? The main villain here,
Drusilla.
Her hand is really kind of masculine there, and I thought, okay, maybe that's just part of it. But the other parts where her hand looks kind of normal. I think the art's pretty good. It kind of reminds me a little of I want to say hints of Connor a little bit, but I think the art's pretty good. I think it's a story. At least I'll pick up issue 2 to see where it's going and see if it picks up any more. But definitely, I think a stash for me. And what about you, Drew?
I would say it's a light stash. I did enjoy it. I don't really like most of Meredith Finch's work, so I was kind of surprised I enjoyed it. I mostly picked it up on speculation. New Image #1. I had some room in the budget, so I went ahead and grabbed it. We'll see what through it and probably decide counter whether or not I'm going to pick it up.
They also have the gold variant. Remember that they did those too. They had one per retailer variant as well. So a little hint of the '90s there with that comic. Jeremy, what's your first book for the night?
My first book, we'll go ahead and do Injustice 2, #1. I never read any of the first Injustice comic books, but I picked this up because it's got Jim Lee cover, and it's supposed to be like a lead up to the story for the game coming out. And I heard it'd be cool if you're supposed to read it or something. It was really cool. Apparently, it picked up. I watched some reviews of it online that said it picked up right where the last Injustice comic books left off was Superman in that jail. And him and Batman talking, and then apparently Batman partners up with Harley Quinn, and she's going to become a new Robin or something like that. But like she goes back to the Quiver, like the Arrow Cave or whatever. She's apparently Harley Quinn's got a daughter in this universe, and like she's talking to her sister about her daughter or something. And this explosion goes off, and like people are invading in there to get her, and it's Amanda Waller, and like she's recruited for the Suicide Squad. Like last panel, there's like this big splash page for the whole Suicide Squad. So yeah, it's a stash for me because I'm going to read it. I mean,
You're a big fan of the games too, aren't you? Though.
Oh yeah, I got the game on pre-order, so yeah.
Anybody else pick up Injustice #1?
No.
No, I hear great things about Ground Zero, which was the precursor series, so I might be going back and picking up Injustice 2.
My first book of tonight is Z Nation by I think this is Diamond, or Dynamite. If you ever see G Nation on Sci-Fi, it's a go-okay filler for Walking Dead when Walking Dead's not on. It definitely has its campy moments where Walking Dead does not want to go to that camp that Z Nation does. So it's kind of cool to have a zombie with a little more humor and stuff in there. This book is no different. It definitely has some of that campy humor in here where they're talking about, let me try to find a page here, where zombie pirates. I mean, where else are you going to find zombie pirates? They also have zombie cattle. And the part where they scare the cattle into the place, they say it's a Zamsteed. So I thought that was, some good camp to it. Is it one that I would pick up the second issue on? Probably not. It was good for the short read, but I definitely won't be picking up anymore. Drew, did you pick up that one by chance?
I did not. I actually have never seen Z Nation. I think I get Walking Dead in my pull box, so one zombie story is really.
Yeah, it's the show itself is campy. If it has DJ Qualls as one of the main characters, it's going to be fairly campy. I know, Mike, you picked it up. What do you think of that?
Yeah, before we get into that, I know Half Man, Half Amazing jumped in here. Haven't seen him in a while. What's up, man? Some other people, where are they? I'm scrolling down here. I know Doom 143 was in here. Havoc Comics, he said, what's up? And let's see who else. And that's it. We got about 20 people watching. And Z Nation, I've actually never seen the TV show also. It's about a year into the zombie apocalypse, and food is running out. Apparently they made a food substitute called Soylent Z, and there's like teams of National Guard going after it. I actually enjoyed this. It was better than I thought. And they got freaking zombie cows in here. Come on, guys. This was a stash for me.
Maybe I'll have to go back and pick it up.
So you never watched the show either, Mike?
No, I have not.
You know, I think it's the first episode of the first season. I think they're in season 2 or 3 now. They have a zombie baby, which is somewhere, like I said, Walking Dead would never really go with that. You know,
I've always wanted to create an action figure of an undead pregnant lady where she had the zombie baby had chewed through her stomach and is alive, walking beside her, still attached to the umbilical cord. I want that action figure made. Can we make
that's
that?
a bit sicker than I go with my action figures.
Man.
Real quick before we jump into the next book, we have Comic Book Feed here. I just wanted to point out I have my my award sitting in the background here, so thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. So, who was next? I think Drew, you're up with your second book.
Okay, let's see here. Let's go with Guardians of the Galaxy number 19. Brian Michael Bendis issue. The story is basically Thanos has come to Earth, not only to take over the Earth, but he's gunning for the Guardians in particular, and all the Guardians from two runs come together to defeat Thanos. Now, the story is kind of flimsy. It does its job to put the original Guardians on a spaceship leaving Earth. So at the end of the day, it's only Drax and Gamora with Rocket, Groot, and Star-Lord back to the bare bones Guardians, which is a good job there because they have a new series coming out. But the selling point of this book for me, which was $5, kind of high, but it's oversized. And there are, about 10 artists working on this book. And the interior art is phenomenal. It's really great. So if you don't feel like dropping $5 on it, do yourself a favor, go to your LCS and stand there for a couple minutes and at least flip through it, because the Arthur Adams cover is a wraparound like Mike just showed. Really great stuff there. And he also has some incredible art in the interior as well. Really great stuff. And anytime Thanos is involved, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and buy it, $5 or not.
That sounds a lot like what Mike would say if Thanos is there. He's on it. I know you picked up that book up too, Mike.
Yeah, I don't really normally read Guardians of the Galaxy, but I saw Thanos on here and grabbed this. And this was close to being actually my pick of the week. I thought it was good. There's action throughout. I didn't like the changing artist, and I'll just read the artist names that are in this book. Valero Shitty, or Shitty. Phil Noto.
Which is kind of the opposite of how his art is. His art's pretty good.
Yeah, the art is amazing in this book. Phil Noto, Andrea Sorrentino, Ed McGuinness and Mark Morales, Arthur Adams, Kevin McGuire, Mark Bagley, all kinds of people, man. So if you like a slew of artists in your book, pick this one up. But like I said, this was close to a pick of the week for me. It's not, but it is a stash. So.
Jeremy, you didn't get that one either. Real quick though, now they're ending this Guardians of the Galaxy. They're going to be starting a new one up. I mean, is this why they're ending this story arc and then moving into the next book? I'm assuming. Right.
This is the final arc of this run, the Brian Michael Bendis run, which actually has gone for, I think this is his third volume.
Oh, really?
He started with Marvel Now. Right after the Guardians decided they're going to make a Guardians movie. Bendis started on Marvel Now. He did an all different Marvel run, and it's his second Marvel Now run. So I kind of didn't care for his take on the Guardians for the most part. Definitely preferred the earlier Advent Landing stuff, but he does some great stuff with conversations. So there's always something to like about it if you like the Guardians. But I'm kind of happy that they're going away from Bendis. And the only thing that I'm down about in the new run is it's going to be Baby Groot as opposed to the original Groot.
Of course they're going Baby Groot. I mean,
right? And they got to go ahead and milk that Marvel movie money for all they can.
Of course.
Now, I think that Baby Groot kind of spreads across more people too. More people like that character, and so, like I said, that's going to end up selling more issues. So.
They're doing a Baby Groot mini-series with just Baby Groot, and I'm not opposed to that, but, give me real Groot. in my Guardians book.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy, I guess. Well, oh no, you can go to Mike. Mike has quite a few books. What's your next book, Mike? Then we'll continue, Jeremy.
Let's see here. Let's do God Shaper. Anybody else read that?
I did not.
I didn't get that, but I wanted to get that one with the cover with Robert Johnson on the cover. I don't know if anybody has picked that up.
Is that who you're talking? Is this one?
No, it's the cover where the guy's sitting there playing the guitar with his legs crossed like that. It's like a famous picture of Robert Johnson.
Gotcha. So God Shaper #1. This is not my turd of the week actually, because I liked it in the beginning. So in this world, everybody on the planet has little cartoon-looking gods, like kind of like that dude right there. Kind of reminded me of like Pokemon. Say if like Pikachu was your god or some shit.
Kind of looks like that guy from Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack
Skellington. Yeah, man, it's his baby. So yeah, but 1 in every 10,000 people are born without a god, and these guys are called like shapers. And they could kind of go into your god and reshape them, put a new Windows 95 in it, and give them different abilities. And I thought all that was pretty cool. And about halfway through the book, it lost me. The dialogue is kind of like placed in the 1950s and stuff, and it was really hard to follow for me. So this was actually a blast, a soft blast, because I really like the whole Pokemon God thing. So.
Well, good job. Go ahead, Drew.
Who was the writer on that book?
Let me see. Let me open this thing up.
I could tell where it would have like a 50s kind of vibe to it with that hobo on the cover of it.
Yeah. Let's see. Written by Simon Spurrier.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Where's Rob Wise guy? I bet he knows who that guy is.
Rob Wise guy's this is Rob Wise guy's pick of the week right here.
Now you said you got confused there toward the middle. You compare it to Windows 95. When you go to Windows 95, you jump up to Windows 10. There is some confusion, Mike. So
there's drag queens in here, and
in other words, halfway through the book, he got the blue screen of death.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
okay. Anybody else pick up God Shaper? No?
No.
Okay, Trinity, go on to you now. What's your second book?
Speaking of Pokemon, I was not in my main LCS today. I was at the Go Fuck Yourself. All these kids in there smelling up the place, playing their Poke cards. I just wanted to, either focus on comic books or focus on your goddamn Poke cards. I'm just saying.
That's Mike. That's Grandpa's soapbox for the evening. We'll go on to Jeremy.
God, I can't stand it.
We'll go ahead and do another DC book, The Flash, number 20. It started a new story. Oh, well, no. It ended. It was the continuation of a storyline that was from 19. It was it actually was where, what's her name? Iris West becomes, she's investigating that whole, somebody stealing the bodies of the people that got hit by the lightning from the Speed Force storm. And, all the people are coming up missing. She goes and, tries to infiltrate the place and, pose as one of the guards or whatever. She ends up getting caught. And, Flash has to come save her. And it comes to find out, all of them, the bodies had been stolen except for that Mina Darwin or whatever her name was. She ended up, they tell that somebody is cooperating with the black hole people that have took over Star Labs. And it ends up being, as you see that at the end of the issue, it's her, and she's got this costume that looks like a reverse Flash, like a Black Flash kind of thing going on. And it says Mina Darwin, Agent of Black Hole or something like that. But I only read that to get it out of the way because the button is going to start. So, but yeah, it's a stash for me because the Flash stays on my pull list. So.
The Flash is on my pull list as well, but I tend to get like 4 or 5 issues behind before I start picking back up again. So I think the last issue I read was 15 or 16, so I need to catch back up on Flash, and it's been in my pull list since the Rebirth. But I haven't read this issue yet. So
It's been really
anybody
good.
else read?
The last couple issues have just been like him battling the rogues again. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
that's right. Captain Boomerang was on the last issue, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's like they have like a 4-issue arc of him battling the rogues, and then this comes along, and I think they've just kind of tied that up real quick to going along with the button.
Anybody else read Flash this week?
No.
I dropped Flash around issue 4, and
I can't stand the art in that book.
I'm the same way. I don't like the art. Really turned me off.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to swallow. I think the first couple issues. I think Flash had really big ears, and there was some stuff that was kind of really off on it. But it kind of grew on me. I like it enough. I may end up dropping it after the button, but I don't know. Go ahead.
The art actually changed after like a little while though. The artist on it like changed over.
I got too fast, I guess. I might go back.
Okay.
Trade. We'll see.
Yeah, I said I may end up dropping it after the button to see how that plays out, and but for right now, it's still on my pull list. Okay, my next book is Deadpool versus Punisher. I actually really like this cover. I think it's kind of a cool, the playing card kind of cover. And not to give it too much away, I'm not a huge fan of Deadpool. I think he's a little overplayed. He's a little too popular, and so it just kind of he has to get into everything. Big fan of Punisher, though. Probably, that was my go-to guy when I was younger. I was always picked up the Punisher books. To me, I guess it'd be kind of hard to have a normal guy, it's Marine, actually go up against somebody who cannot die, and be able to be victorious. But it's okay. I don't think I would pick up. I think this is only 5 issues. 5 issues long. But I definitely won't be picking up anymore. I don't think after this. It was, the typical Deadpool there being a smart ass, Punisher being a badass. But the art's okay. I don't think it's but it's a blast for me, unfortunately, even though there is a Punisher in there. So anybody else pick up Deadpool versus Punisher?
No, sir. Not me.
No, sir. Nobody else did.
No, ever since Deadpool Gambit was a stinker, in my opinion, I've been shying away from the Deadpool versus miniseries. If they're any good, I'll pick them up and trade. But I haven't heard too many good things about many Deadpool miniseries.
They're oversaturating everything with Deadpool. Same thing with Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, we'll go on to Drew. What's your third book for tonight?
Okay, let's go ahead and go with the Silver Surfer, number 10. Dan Slott writing it, Mike and Laura Allred on the art. The story is very Doctor Who and a companion. So if you're not a fan of that kind of sci-fi story, this is probably not for you. I really enjoy the Allred art, which is why I continue to pick this up. And the story's kind of cutesy, so I do enjoy that. This is about eternity going out of its way to bring Dawn and the Silver Surfer back together. And this is kind of a self-contained issue for the most part. So if you're interested in checking out Silver Surfer, this is probably a good place to get a feel for what it's like. But if you're a traditional Silver Surfer reader, you're not going to like this book at all. But fortunately for me, that's not really my wheelhouse, and I did enjoy this book. It's a soft stash. I'm going to keep picking it up because of the Allred art, and that's pretty much the only reason why.
Anybody else read Silver Surfer this week?
I dropped it after issue 1.
Well, I don't think
it's not for everybody.
Full list.
Spoiler alert! I never got it.
Okay, Mike, what's your third book?
Shout out to Alex, the comic quarter. He just jumped in here.
Oh yeah.
What up, Alex?
Saying his books of the week are X-Men Blue and Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, number 6. So speaking about picks of the week, my pick of the week is also X-Men Blue. Where's my notes at?
You have notes?
Yeah, I take notes, man.
This year.
I'm dedicated.
I need to borrow your notes for Spanish class after this, Mike.
I broke my crayon, so I couldn't take any notes down.
Donde está la biblioteca?
Yeah. Anyway, X-Men Blue.
He said something.
Muchos buenos en el cabeza, see?
All lives matter, baby. All lives matter. X-Men Blue. So this is the original time-displaced X-Men. Starts out, they're chilling on the Blackbird. Shortly thereafter, you find out they're after Black Tom Cassidy, who's hanging out on a yacht for whatever reason, and they go after him, and he has Juggernaut waiting in the wings, and basically it's the original X-Men taking on a Juggernaut on a freaking yacht. I thought that was freaking awesome, and surprise ending, good backup story. My pick of the week, X-Men Blue. These X-Men books have just been killing it, in my opinion. Alex, the comic order, agrees.
Okay, Jeremy, how about you?
Surprisingly, this is my pick of the week too, but I hated the main story. The backstory was actually the reason I stashed it. So yeah, it's a stash for me, just because the little last story. I'm not going to give anything away for those that haven't read it, but that little after the whole main story.
Stop.
Okay.
Sorry. Stop. Kylo.
Yeah, that last little story summed it up for me. I was like, yep, pick of the week.
No.
Yeah, this has been a pick of the week for me as well too. I mean, my favorite part. I mean, not that I got goosebumps or anything, but when they're showing like, he's not alone. They show the big footprints, and I didn't know what the hell it was, and then the splash page with Juggernaut bitch busting through the wall. That was like awesome. That was it, dude. That killed it for me right there, and it definitely is a stash for me. It is great seeing some good books coming out of Marvel, which I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I have a question. Maybe Drew over there. How does Beast using magic in this?
Oh, sorry. That is something that really annoys me about this book. It's like really only negative that I really had when I read it was Beast and the mysticism. It goes back to the all-new X-Men tie-ins to Apocalypse War, and after that, there was a situation where he had borrowed some items from Doctor Strange. One of those items actually sent them back in time. I really, really hated what they did with all new X-Men during the Apocalypse War.
Yes.
And that's really a holdover from that. Beyond that, and the lack of all new Wolverine in this title, those are the only two negatives that I have about it. I think that backup story is going to remedy one of those issues there. So without going into too much detail,
that actually, I'm glad you cleared that up, because that was one of the things that actually was like, nope, I don't even like this. When Beast said, hold up, and did this, and Doctor Strange looking stuff come up, I was like, what?
Right. It was part of it. They used it a little bit as a plot device to try to get them back to their own time.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be his goal with dealing with the mysticism. For the most part, though, they didn't really do much with it after that. They did say, I think Cullen Bunn did a nice job kind of giving us a little heads up. So on the introduction of the characters at the beginning, it does say, Henry McCoy, Beast, enhanced agility and strength, genius, aspiring mystic. So they kind of give you a little bit there of saying, hey, he's going to try to do some magic. But I just think that Beast being a super genius and also having the animalistic agility, that's enough. And you're throwing something else at a character who really doesn't need it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that too, because that's all Beast is to me. Adding that magic part to it, it's like, you're kind of pushing it a little bit further beyond, and I don't think he needs it, but
My opinion, there are enough mutants out there within the mythos that if you want a magic user mutant, pick another one up and put them on the team. You don't have to make Beast be a magic user. That being said, it doesn't annoy me that much. That was a pretty darn good issue. I'd say a 9 out of 10 for a number 1. A lot of action, a lot of nice character moments between them, and you kind of get a feel for who they are aside from the classic X-Men. They all have a little bit of a different take on the character than they had in the original series. So I kind of dig that, and just a minor gripe.
Okay. Before we jump onto the next book, I mean, it's been in the news a lot lately. I figured we'd briefly talk about it since we're talking about comics, X-Men Gold, and what was brought about because of all that, the controversy with the hidden messages and everything. Now, is that going to deter any of you guys from actually continuing to pick up that title? I guess we'll start with Drew real quick.
Saev his art is going to be in issues 2 and 3. They're already at the printer. They're already on the way. Editorial apparently has gone through them with a fine-tooth comb and found nothing objectionable. I was really, really pissed off about it when I heard the story initially. Mainly because the story of X-Men Gold is about Kitty Pryde taking over leadership, and Kitty Pryde is Jewish, and the issues that the artist was trying to represent were about Muslim people not allowing Jews or Christians to be their leaders. Mm-hmm. And it was absolutely disgusting and completely counter to the story that was being presented. That's my issue with it. If he believes that, that's fine. Believe it. Put it in your own creator-owned book, and if people want to buy that, they'll buy that. Don't take one of the biggest relaunches that Marvel's done in the past decade and hijack that for your own purposes. Mm-hmm. That right there really, really upset me, honestly. And I personally, you're Muslim, you're Jewish, you're Christian, none of my business. Do your own thing. But like I said, he's only going to be on issues 2 and 3. After that, they got some really good fill-in artists. I know Ken Lashley's doing a couple of issues.
Yeah,
really find a permanent home, and I'm excited for that as well. Saev's art was hit or miss throughout the issue for me. The splash pages were beautiful, but some of the smaller panel work was left a lot to be desired, and I really am not sad to see.
How about you, Mike?
I'm still gonna pick it up. Yeah, so. That's all I got to say on
that. Jeremy, how about you? Anything at all? I mean, you don't have to go political all on it, but I'm just curious.
I'm not going to go political. I feel the exact same way Drew does, but I never was going to pick it up to begin with because I don't pick those books up. But anyway, I pretty much feel the same way he does. I mean, it's garbage. I mean. I read comic books. I don't care if it's DC or Marvel. I read comic books to get away from politics and all that garbage. Just entertain me. That's all I want you to do. And matter of fact, in that article that told that, he did it in DC and he did it in Marvel, but he did it more blatantly in Marvel, and it had to be pointed out in the DC book. But it's like everywhere. It's like 2 or 3 references, like in the X-Men. That's what got me. And I was like, come on, man.
Wasn't like Colossus wearing a shirt during that softball game or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the scene where the panel where Kitty Pryde is addressing the crowd is I didn't read the book, but I mean y'all did, so you know what I'm talking about. Where she's addressing the crowd, it's like her moment where she's taking over, like taking leadership of the team is the way I understand it. There's a big, like on this building, it's a reference to a Quran quote or something like that.
I think it was 212, and I think that's what it was talking about. Some protest that happened. Was it in February of
this year? I think
it was December
February
2nd.
12th, December 2nd. Okay, I was thinking February for some reason.
Yeah,
and it was some protest to do with that.
You do the dates backwards. It's 12/2 and not or 2/12 and not 12/2.
Oh, okay. I mean, my opinion on it is. Do I like it? No, not really. I mean, but you can't blame comic books for being controversial. I mean, comic books have been controversial for quite a few years. I mean, look at the original X-Men. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that came out even in the 60s that were kind of like whoa, you're actually touching on that kind of subject. I think really the market and the consumer are going to make that judgment on that. I mean, if it doesn't go pick up anymore, then therefore Marvel will drop it, or whatever they're going to do with it. But I mean, everything's based on consumerism and how it's going to sell.
Seeking Near Mint comment says Marvel knew the art, and still decided to release it. Money grab and PR did a great job for Marvel. In their release that they did, they said that they didn't know what it was, and when they found out what it was, they immediately terminated him or whatever. And the guy actually what got me though, the guy was on Facebook bragging to people about it.
Yeah, I think my main issue with it, Huey, is not so much that the market will decide for itself on it. I think it was more of a situation of the artist went out of his way to hijack a story that was told by a writer and an editorial and undermine that story with subliminal additions to it. And that to me is what makes it so offensive. If the artist and the writer were together on the same page trying to make a political statement, that's fine. Then let the market decide. But if the writer is writing something that is, putting a Jewish character in charge of this team, and the artist is undermining that by saying, we shouldn't have Jews as leaders, basically is what he was saying. And that to me is going against what the writer has said, what editorial has decided, and what the company as a whole wanted to do moving forward with the title. So, if he wants to make political statements in his own work, that's fine. But when you're on board, part of a team, and you're undermining it, that's right there where I had a problem.
I guess I really didn't think about it that way. I mean, I know X-Men had a who was the artist and the writer on some of the earlier X-Men books where the writer and the artist were not seeing eye to eye, and the artist would draw something and the writer, I forgot the writer and the artist name.
Frank Cho.
No, that wasn't Frank Cho. You're thinking of Wonder Woman. This is I remember one panel specifically talking about where the artist drew Colossus ripping this root out of the ground like it was supposed to be effortlessly, but the writer says this thing, God bless Russia or whatever, and the writer's making it seem like it's tough for him, but the writer and the artist had two different concepts in mind, and I guess it kind of falls in what you were talking about there, to where the writer had this in mind, but the artist goes, you know what, I'm going to change it to fit my own needs, and I actually didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, I just think that editorial had a plan, and if they wanted him to make a statement about that, it would have been part of the plan, and it certainly wasn't. And it was offensive to large swaths of the population. Now, if you're not Muslim, it should offend you. Yeah. That's really all there is to it.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Alex, the comment quarter, said, I'm the Spectacular Spider Grandpa. I'll pick it up. I'm Christian, and if anyone wants to hear why I'd pick it up, we can talk off air. Yeah, I mean, I agree too. I mean, if you was going to pick it up. That's not, I was never going to pick it up anyway, so it doesn't affect me. So
right. Overall, I don't think that the hidden messages affect the way the book reads. So
no,
that's that.
Yeah, and again, too, if you don't find it offensive, if you want to pick it up, that's your own choice. And I think that's where I talk about where the market kind of fits in place.
Right. Right.
If you want it, you want it. You don't, you don't. And the consumers are going to make that decision on that kind of stuff. So, okay. So now we've had that proper discussion. We'll move forward into
get that garbage out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot even whose turn it was for comics. So we'll go with Mike, I guess.
All right. Let's. I don't think anyone else has read this. This is Black Panther and the Crew #1. So basically what the Crew is a team of superheroes that deal with problems in the Harlem community. This book starts off in the 1950s. It showcases a team of superheroes that worked as hired guns. They were protectors of Harlem, cleaning up the streets of drug dealers and, a bunch of other criminals. But, okay, I thought that was pretty cool. Then it flashes forward into now, and they go into Harlem's protesting the cops for police violence, and it focuses on Misty Knight, and yeah, it lost me. So my question to you is, so the crew is a bunch of Harlem protectors. So I don't even know who this character is right here. I don't know where he's from. I know the Black Panther's from Wakanda. And isn't Storm from like Africa or something?
I think so.
Didn't she marry Black Panther at one time?
I think so. She's married a few people. Wasn't she married to Forge too? But like.
No, they never got married.
Oh, they never got married.
They were close.
I gotcha. Yeah. So this was a blast for me, a soft blast, because I really liked the first part back in the 50s. So I won't be picking up issue number 2.
Who is that other cat?
I don't know if I could look at, Black Panther and Luke Cage and this other guy aren't even in the book.
Is that Brother Voodoo?
He looks like that guy from that prison show Oz. They used to walk around with that little thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Adabisi?
Yeah.
His name is Manifold.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he was part of Hickman's Avenger run, but I don't know much about him.
So
he's like a teleporter.
So even in the introductory little thing here, the crew is a team of superheroes that has come together specifically to deal with problems that afflict the community they come from or have come to be allied with. Blah, 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 blah. So, not my thing.
Jackie said that guy is Gateway's son, whoever Gateway is.
That little black dude who always made portals and stuff?
Yeah, I think he has the same powers, Manifold.
Gotcha.
His teleportation powers.
Anybody else read Black Panther this week? I don't think anybody else did.
No.
Okay, Jeremy, what's your third book for tonight?
Well, I've already did my third book. This is my fourth book, and it's Weapon X.
Okay.
Weapon X #1. I hated the art, but I thought the story was pretty cool. So it's a soft stash. I maybe would read issue #2.
Soft stash.
Oh yeah.
Soft stash from Jeremy.
I liked how it had those things that explaining who the characters, like the people who were going to be in the book was, because for idiots like me who don't know, I mean, I knew some of them, like it kind of told their powers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That was one of the first ones I read. So.
Where's my Weapon X book? Who stole my Weapon X book?
I did. I have it right here, Mike.
I picked up this sweet variant. That was awesome.
My LCS didn't get that.
I thought it was okay. I don't think it was great. I mean, it seems a little weird to see Old Man Logan smiling like that. He's not being all Logan-y, is he, Jeremy?
No, it's one that panel on the left side. Hold that back up. Down under the woman with the blue hat, right above, right there.
Right.
He looks like the leprechaun, man.
He kind of does.
I was like, what?
I don't know. I didn't really. I do like the thing where at the end he's trying to find Sabretooth, trying to find somebody to help him fight these robots that are attacking him, or I guess attacking anybody from the Weapon X program, and how he kind of convinces Sabretooth to help him out. I mean, I don't know if he really convinces him to, but I do kind of like that. But other than that, though, I don't think I'd pick up in issue 2. So it's a blast for me, unfortunately. So how about you, Drew? You pick up that one?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a good #1, a nice start. I can't really judge where the series is going until I get 2 or 3 issues under my belt. But I had an issue with Sabretooth's appearance on the interior. All the promotional art has him in this short hair look. He's got the long mangy hair in the interior of the book. My #1 gripe about this book is what in the world is going on with Old Man Logan's nostrils on the cover. His nose looks all kinds of out of whack.
I didn't notice that. Those nostrils are really kind of sticking out to the side.
Yeah, he looks like a flounder or something.
It looks like he snorted an alien pod.
It looks messed up. That's all there is to that. It was the shortest out of X-Men Gold and X-Men Blue and Weapon X. No backup in this, and I think that they probably could have used a backup story, maybe something Domino or Warpath, considering they don't even show up in issue 1. But beyond that, I thought it was pretty good. The art was one point on the interior, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Anything that gives me more Old Man Logan, I'm a fan of.
Let me ask you
a little bit of backstory in X-Men Gold with Deathstrike on the beach.
That was in X-Men Prime.
Oh, Prime. Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't a backup in X-Men Gold. It was just a longer issue.
Okay. Okay. So I remember seeing a Deathstrike. Deathstrike? Is that her name?
Lady
Deathstrike showed up in X-Men Prime.
Okay, yeah, because I remember that. I remember her getting blasted by the rockets. And what was that, a precursor to this book?
Yeah, X-Men Prime had a little bit of X-Men Blue, a little bit of X-Men Gold. Well, mostly X-Men Gold, a little bit of X-Men Blue, and also a little bit of the Weapon X as well, to kind of get everything that was launching this first cycle.
Gotcha.
Get them a little bit of a starting point there.
Okay. Sorry, Jeremy, didn't mean to cut you off. Were you going to say something?
I want to know, like, those guys that had the big tubes with the people in it, like when Wolverine was trying to get away and he hacked off a piece of his arm, didn't them cats take the piece of arm and try to stow it in a tube and grow another Wolverine?
Oh, yeah, they're going to grow another Wolverine with it. Yeah, definitely. Whether it's at Weapon X, Weapon Plus, I don't think nobody knows what's going on with it yet. But my hope is that it's leading up onto
Weapons of Mass. Yeah.
So they're going to grow.
Yeah, they're going to grow something in a test tube, and he's going to go nuts. So hopefully that works out.
Yeah, that was my next question, if it was going to lead into that. So, okay, Mike, what do you think of that book?
Hold on. I thought I saw something in this about the whole Weapons of Mass. Mutants. What's so funny? Here we go.
Harley Quinn showed up out of nowhere.
Oh, that's my ringtone on my phone. Sorry, let me turn it down.
Here we go. Find out in Weapons of Mutant Destruction, which kicks off in May's Totally Awesome Hulk number 19, and then continues into Weapon X number 4. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, so that's going to be Hulk crossover.
Yeah, Hulk and Weapon X, and Hulk and Weapon X, and then it's going to have its own Mutant Destruction Alpha number 1, like everything else. So
right.
I like this book. I'm waiting for Lady Deathstrike to be more involved. I mean, she was just in a test tube in this, and she actually scratches on the tube itself. I'm gonna kill you all, and we'll love to see more Domino and Warpath or whatever the hell his name is. But this was a stash. I'm gonna get issue number 2. So you guys said it all.
Kind of like what Jeremy said to me in the text earlier. I will kill you.
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm really trying to give Marvel a chance here, but now I'm starting to realize more and more why I stick to DC books. I mean, it's like Doom said. Doom said, I missed your Spider-Man comics and an X-Men comic and a Deadpool comic. But now we have X-Men and X-Men Prime, X-Men Gold, and X-Men Blue, and Deadpool versus X-Men, X-Men each Lucky Charm. I mean,
when the X-Men rebooted in what was it, 1991? They were X-Men. X-Men Blue was Uncanny X-Men. Am I correct?
Blue was the self-title, and Gold was Uncanny.
Oh, okay. I had it backwards. So that's where they get that from.
Oh, I didn't know. I just knew Jim Lee drew it, and it was just called X-Men.
But this is the first solo X-Men book for quite some time, isn't it?
They've been doing X-Men titles consistently throughout. The last run was Uncanny and Extraordinary with All New as well. So they had 3 X titles going, 3 team books going at the same time. During Marvel Now, there was X-Men, there was Amazing X-Men, and Uncanny X-Men. So they had, and Wolverine and the X-Men. So they had 4 ongoing titles at the same time as well. So the X-Men have never really gone away. They just have taken a backseat as far as promotion goes for the most part.
Okay. You said what you had to say about it, so I've already said what I said about it. So we'll go ahead and jump back go down the line real quick, and a few other books you want to quickly mention before we jump in next segment. We'll start with you, Drew. Any of the books you read this week?
Yeah, on my personal channel, I called Spencer and Locke my pick of the week. Upon a second read, I definitely think that my pick of the week is Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows, number 6. This is a really cool Elseworlds tale of Spider-Man and Mary Jane remain married. They have a daughter. She has spider powers. They all kind of share their spider powers, which is kind of cool. And this has them crossing over with the X-Men of this universe. Kind of has a Peter J. Tomasi's Superman feel to it, where you're getting Spider-Man as a family man. You're getting him as a father before you're getting him as a hero, which is kind of cool. And you're also getting a whole new Elseworlds universe to explore. These X-Men are definitely not the same X-Men that we're dealing with in Gold, Blue, and Weapon X or X-Force, whatever they're calling it. These are, Cyclops is still alive, Professor Xavier's still alive, and this team is the 92 team. There's also some fantastic interior art Ryan Stegman does. He's got a really great take on Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Really beautiful stuff there.
Yeah. Toad.
So wait, that's
man right there.
Wolverine and Cyclops.
It's a different universe. It's not the 616, current Marvel landscape. It's a alternate future where Spider-Man and Mary Jane stayed married.
Okay.
So.
It's awesome.
I think that's one thing that kills me with Marvel. It's like all these, but DC has different universes too. So what am I talking about?
Right. Well, it's kind of like Spider-Gwen has her own universe where the Daredevil is the Kingpin, and Frank Castle is the chief of police. This is a little bit more in line with the Marvel comics of the 90s, and pretty much this branches off only where One More Day, the Spider-Man story, where Mephisto basically rewrote his and Mary Jane's past so they weren't married anymore. It's basically, if that never happened, this is where the world might end up. And the cool thing about it is it's only 6 issues in, and if you're not reading any other Marvel titles, you can pick this up and enjoy it for what it is, and you don't have to go ahead and get 30 other books to really round out the universe. It's kind of doing its own thing, and I really enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. It's definitely taking a different look at the Spider-Man character than we're getting in Amazing currently at this point in time.
Well, I'm glad you told me that, because I actually, I've always said Spider-Man was the one of the Marvel characters that I wish I'd have gotten into. So now that I know I can pick that up and read it, and I don't have to worry about none of the rest, tying in with none of the rest of the stuff, I might actually go back and pick them up, because that sounds actually pretty cool to me. I think that's one thing that I really like about Rebirth, and it carries on what was good from the New 52, and it's still everything's still the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like where you see Damian Wayne in this book is where he's at in Super Sons, or what I'm saying, something like that. Right. I don't know.
I enjoy a good Elseworld title too, because then it doesn't affect that main storyline. This is like the what if, and you can read that and enjoy that and not worry about it messing up the other timeline. I mean, Batman had quite a few Elseworld titles as well, and I think those are great to be able to jump in and just read those and kind of get different perspective on that character and how they would fit in another situation. So,
right, it's like if a What If was an ongoing title, and that's got a lot of high points in my opinion. That you don't have to pick up, like I said, 30 other books to realize what's going on in the world around you. It starts centralized on these characters and kind of branches out from there.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Mike? You got any other couple books or two you want to throw out there real quick?
Yeah, like Drew said, this is great. He said it all. Let's see what else is good. Good to see Silver Sable return in Amazing Spider-Man, so that was pretty cool. Kingpin number 3, really good stuff. Continuing on, can't wait for issue number 4.
Oh man, I love Matt Rosenberg. His writing is fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't think I would like this Kingpin book, but yeah, Red Hood and the Outlaws was really good this week too, so check that out. Detective Comics, not so much. I'm over the whole Ra's al Ghul crap.
Yeah, that's my turn of the week.
My turn of the week, however, I was a sucker and got Vampirella #2. I will not get any. I will not get any more. I promise you that. And last one I got Logan, Old Man Logan, Past Lives. Really good stuff here. So jump on board this Old Man Logan train, man. It's good stuff.
The story was great. I was not a huge fan of the art.
Yeah, the art.
The Old Man Logan, just because it's been so great, and this is kind of a step down. I didn't really dig that too much.
I actually dropped Old Man Logan. But I have a question for you. That Amazing Spider-Man, how much is that an issue?
The Amazing Spider-Man, I think $3.99.
No, the Renew Your Vows one?
Probably
Yeah,
$3.99.
It's a $3.99 book.
Yep.
You have any other books you want to talk about real quick, Jeremy?
Not really. Not new books.
Okay.
Anybody else pick up Seven to Eternity, #5?
I have it. I haven't read it yet. Yeah, I got that one. I forgot about Red. I have Red Hood and the Outlaws. I haven't read that one either. Yeah, I haven't read #5 yet. But I plan on it here pretty soon. The other books I did pick up, American Gods #2. Kind of see where this is going, and it didn't hit me the same as the first issue. So I might be dropping it after this. Yeah,
I dropped Seven to Eternity and sold my issues I had to go to Fan Expo. So no, I didn't pick it up.
No.
Oh, you
more
said
the same.
Your dog.
Solid.
Hold on.
I thought Mike was going to hit me, man.
I didn't know what Mike was doing. Justice League of America #4. This ends that first story arc. And probably going to be dropping it after this issue. Detective Comics 954 wasn't a great issue. It was okay. And probably the other one that I read that I did enjoy was the Avengers 5.1. This is, almost like the Silver Age kind of throwback Avengers. This is still pretty cool. I'm still digging this. And I'm not sure if they're going to continue on with this .1 series or not for the Avengers, but if they do, I'll be picking it up for sure. Okay, I think any more last minute things about comic books before we jump into the next segment? Anybody got anything?
I didn't realize that we were running through the last one there on that last round. So I got a couple more I want to go over real quick. Picked up #15 of Power Man Iron Fist. This is the last issue in this arc. It's a turd. The art is pretty solid. The story has been inconsistent ever since the Civil War II tie-ins, but I'm a completionist, so I ended up picking up the rest of that. Haven't picked up Iron Fist solo series yet, and I don't plan on picking up Luke Cage when that comes out. So pretty much done with those characters for now. Titans #10. This book's been kind of up and down. Haven't really been a huge fan of this, but going into the Lazarus contract, I definitely wanted to keep up with it. Loving Teen Titans and Deathstroke right now, and they're going to do a crossover. This definitely leads to that crossover with Deathstroke showing up on the final panel, and I can't wait for that to get started. Also picked up Scooby Apocalypse #12. This is just pure fun. If you're not reading this, I don't want to be your friend. It's fantastic. The art is solid. Jim Lee did the character designs on these new characters here, and it's an apocalypse book, zombies and monsters all over the place, and Scoob and the gang doing their best to survive. I dig that. And also Action Comics 977, which is the fallout from the Superman Reborn story arc. He goes to this Fortress of Solitude to try to figure out how his history has changed after the pre-Flashpoint Superman has melded with the New 52 Superman, and they are now currently one entity. And it ends with a little bit of a mystery, and I'm excited to see where it goes moving forward. The Superman self-title is definitely a better book. This definitely dives more into the mythos and gives you what's going on with Superman in this whole rebirth arc. I do dig that, so I'm going to keep up with that as well. Definitely a stash.
Anything else for anybody else on the panel?
Yeah, I'd like to say something about something I posted on the page not too long ago, asking about the Three Joker thing. And somebody, when we were at Fan Expo, after they had that panel, they had a Q&A, and somebody actually asked Scott Snyder, was metal going to be have anything to do with the Three Jokers? And he said no. He said that the Three Jokers is a whole big arc or a big story that Jeff Johns is going to tell later on down the road. So he said that story's Jeff's to tell. So apparently Jeff Johns is going to do this whole big arc. I'm assuming it'll have something to do with the Watchmen crossover they're going to have. Not the Button, but I've heard that they're going to do after the Button, they're going to have a Watchmen, event or something like that. So I just like to say that.
Okay. So then, if we got no more comic news, we'll go ahead and jump with Funko Talk with Grandpa.
Shut your Funko mouth. We're running a little late here, so I'm gonna run through this real quick. Apparently, there's a Carnage Dorb, a Walmart exclusive Carnage Dorb that I didn't know about, so I got to get my hands on that. Not a big Dorb fan, but I want that one. There's a new Teen Titans Go pop coming soon. Blackfire. It might even be out right now, and that's a Toys R Us exclusive. I did see they are making a AJ Styles pop. I want that one. I've been a fan of AJ since long before you. What's that?
You don't want none.
Yeah,
I love that music, man.
All right, in May, you could pre-order these now from Entertainment Earth. In May, we got a Ghost Rider Dorb coming, which he's pretty cool. I know if Stephen Higgins is still in here, he'll be picking up that one. A bunch of Fallout Dorbs, the Grim Reaper, Mysterious Stranger, I forgot what the guys are called, but the Rooted one and the Sneak one. Of course, we're getting Spidey Homecoming Dorbs and some Looney Tune Dorbs. Like, you can go to Entertainment Earth right now and pre-order all those. There's a Tekken 5 Nina Williams Walmart exclusive out there. And let's see what. If you missed it on the Blaster or Stash at Facebook page, I did post that Finn Balor, the FYE exclusive, was up for pre-order. I was lucky enough, thanks to my Oracle, to jump on that and grab one of the best looking pops, in my opinion, that's coming out. So, yeah. And then, of course, the Star Wars Celebration pops. Here's where you guys could find those at. Now, you could go to all these websites and try to jump on the waiting list, but I'm not even going to bother. Thrawn, you're going to get him at Toys R Us. Luke Skywalker will be at GameStop. Oh, Stephen Higgins got Finn Balor. Awesome. Target is going to have the Spirit Qui-Gon Jinn. Hot Topic is going to get 2. They're going to get Chopper and Han Solo. FYE is going to get the Clone Trooper. Box Lunch is getting Princess Leia. And the Hikari little mini 2-packs, the Greedos, they're a bunch of little rainbow colors like Skittles. Amazon's going to get the plushes, Jabba and Salacious Crumb. So, there's 2 more here. Walmart will have Rey with her speeder. That's the only one I really care about. Walgreens, too, is going to get Garridan, the Imperial Spy. That's really all the news I have. I did get 2 pops. If you watched my AAOK video from Airborne Sapper, he hooked me up big time with these 2 beauties right here. I can't thank him enough. Right there, the Masters of the Universe, Spikor and Hordak.
Sweet.
If you watch the video, I get real emotional because these are vaulted pops.
Grandpa gets misty.
Grandpa gets misty. I did head out to my LCS today to dig through some the back issue bins. Did get about 50 books for $25. I'll show those in another video. But I did stop at Walgreens to hunt for the elusive Jugs. And I did find the Angela Legends figure.
Sweet. It's a great fig.
This thing is awesome. So here's the back. And that's all I got.
I haven't been getting any pops that much lately. I got a few of them like coming. I pre-ordered that Entertainment Earth exclusive Wonder Woman, the Diana one or whatever it is.
Yeah, I want that one too.
Bowler hat on. I think I'm gonna like lay low on pops for a little while. I'm not gonna go all out on Wonder Woman because when Justice League comes, I'm just gonna get the entire slate.
You could buy them for me. I mean, the race to 1,000 continues, right, BGG?
Do you collect any pops or action figures, Drew?
I'm definitely a Marvel Legends collector. And right now we're kind of in a drought. The X-Men wave came and went, waiting on the new Spider-Man Homecoming to come out. But I do pick up pops when they speak to me. I'm not really out there hunting for chases or anything of that nature. But I did pick up this week. This is from Rick and Morty, Mr. Poopy Butthole. He's got his cane there and his bottle of pain pills. And he is all whacked out. The new wave of Rick and Morty pops is pretty cool. You have the weaponized Rick, the weaponized Morty, Mr. Meeseeks, Snowball the dog, Bird Person. And if anybody out there finds a Squanchy, that is definitely something I'm looking for. More of the obscure Rick and Morty characters, but really dug this. Yeah, I went to the GameStop and was going to look through some used games and saw this as soon as I walked in the door. I was like, nope, that's where my $15 is going.
Speaking of Spider-Man Homecoming, the Vulture, GameStop exclusive Vulture went up for pre-order. So if you got the Vulture.
Is that going to be one of the oversized pops or?
No, it's just he's just regular. I don't know if he glows in the dark, but he's got a lot of neon green on him.
Yeah, I was hoping they do a 6-inch with the wingspan and all that nonsense.
They're not making 6-inch pops anymore.
No,
That's unless they had it in the pipeline before this last little while, because I saw somebody on one of those pages had said that they were asking. I think it was at that Toy Fair thing. They were asking about some of the people at Funko about they had those Q&As about 6-inch pops, and they said there's after this what's in the pipeline right now. There's not going to be any more 6-inch pops because they don't sell good.
Yeah, I heard they discontinued the rides as well.
But they got a ride coming in the Star Wars box. Have you seen that?
Yeah, well, that's the Ray Speeder.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm hyped for the Land Speeder they're putting out with the Black Series 6-inch figures. Luke's Land Speeder from Tatooine. I'm sick.
That's what it is. The Luke, yeah. Not Ray. Ray was a Star Wars convention.
Walmart.
Yeah,
that'll be at Walmart. And then they got Luke coming out with the speeder from A New Hope in the Star Wars box. What the hell is it called?
Smuggler's Bounty.
Smuggler's Bounty.
So that's going to be in that.
Oracle for the win.
Hey, I'm getting old, man. I can't remember shit like I used to.
Okay, so no more Funko news.
I don't guess so.
I take it.
Shut your Funko mouth.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to almost ejected Trinity out of the group when I clicked on your name. A little thing popped up that said eject. I hovered over it. But I'll keep it in here. So go ahead, we'll jump into Trinity Superhero Cinema. Go ahead there.
Keep your finger on the button.
All right,
Just in case. You might need to go at any minute.
I was watching when I was going to Fan Expo and the way Dave did it. So I'm gonna buy this style right here and I'm gonna screen share. I'm gonna show the articles. Here's the article. I wanted to go ahead and start off with this because I have no idea what's going on. Manu Bennett. Stephen Amell tweeted out that Manu Bennett was going to return as Deathstroke for the season 5 finale. And you scroll down here and it tells, there's the actual tweet, desperate times call for desperate measures. Welcome back, Manu Bennett. The world went crazy because Deathstroke, that Deathstroke arc in Arrow is actually, to me, the best that it's ever been. So, but then you go over here, and I forgot another. Andrew Bennett denies that he's not coming back. That he's coming back for Arrow. He's like, "I'm for the record, I'm not coming back for Arrow." Like a series of tweets. I don't think this covers it, but his like Deathstroke will be on there, but that's not me under the mask. So, and I went and actually looked on Twitter at the tweets, and he like tweeted Stephen Amell saying, "What you know, like why did you what are you talking about?" So I have no idea what's going on there. I figured I'd go ahead. The Rock has teased a big Black Adam surprise that's coming to the DC Films universe. I'm not going to play the video. He says, we had a great discussion with Jeff Johns over at DC. This is a really fun, cool time for DC right now because they're world building, Johnson told MTV's Josh Horowitz. We're seeing that with Wonder Woman and Aquaman. We have a few surprises down the line. So what we decided to do was create a scenario where Black Adam has his standalone movie and Captain Marvel, Shazam, has his standalone movie. He added, we're building our world that way, and then we can come together at some other point, which is actually the way I think they should do it. Some people are saying that he's going to be the villain in Man of Steel 2, which I don't think so. I think they'd be stupid to do that. I think they should go with Brainiac for that. But
I actually don't think
that's a bad
idea.
For Black Adam to be the villain in Man of Steel 2?
Man of Steel 2, yeah. Because, Superman has his weakness to magic users, and that could be a nice way for them to introduce Black Adam into the universe. I'm not a huge fan of what really has been going on over the DCEU, but I think that The Rock as Black Adam could be something that kind of changes my mind on a lot of it. I also feel the same way about the Batgirl Joss Whedon stuff that they're coming out with right now. But I think that if they do it properly and he takes it seriously and isn't over the top cheesy with his acting, which he can be from time to time, I think that could really be a coup for DC to get him as a villain in Man of Steel 2.
Yeah. See, it would be cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I would rather see. I mean, if you have a player like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you want to give him his own movie, and if you actually know the backstory of Black Adam, it would actually make a great movie. I mean, I don't know who all knows his backstory, but he was actually a Shazam. He was actually Shazam, Captain Marvel. I mean, the Shazam the music gave him the powers, and then the power corrupted him, and he began to rule people. So that's why he went on and gave it to Billy Batson. But to me, I think, it would be cool, don't get me wrong, especially if they get the rumors of saying Matthew Vaughn from The Kingsman might be doing the Man of Steel 2. I think it could be cool, don't get me wrong, but I think the DC movies are going to take an uptick from Wonder Woman on, because actually, again, at that Fan Expo panel, somebody mentioned that DC wasn't doing good in the movies, like they were during the Q&A, and Jim Lee, he said he's actually seen Wonder Woman, and he thinks a lot of people are going to be, surprised at Wonder Woman how good it is.
If you want to see The Rock as Black Adam in Australia, go watch Scorpion King. You'll understand what's going on. It sounds like it's the same story. Give him power, and there's too much. He corrupted him. You know
how I feel on The Rock.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeremy. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're fine. All right, now this next one I'm fixing to share. It has nothing to do with superheroes, but this news right here warranted it. I had to put it on here, man. They're making Coming to America Part 2 with the original writers. And Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy is returning.
All right, I'm down for that.
Yeah, me too, man. I was like, what?
I watched that all day.
Yeah, that movie is golden, man. Especially that Soul Glow, like they put it on YouTube. Buddy of mine sent that to me the other day, and I was dying laughing at Soul Glow, man. But yeah, I know that's not a superhero. I had to put it on there though. But look at that, man. You can't look at that, just that right there, and not be excited. All right,
that's exciting.
Miles Morales. Marvel has found their Miles Morales for the animated movie they're fixing to do. Shamik Moore will play Spider-Man in the movie opposite Liev Schreiber, aka Sabretooth, as the film's yet unnamed villain, according to the Hollywood Reporter. Shamik Moore was the guy, if you've ever seen that movie, I think it was called that Dope. I don't.
Okay.
It's the same guy
I smoked a lot of it before.
Dope. It was made by that guy that was the Rick Fukuyama or whatever his name is. He was supposed to be going to do the Flash, but he dropped out of it or whatever his name is. But that guy, I guess he'd be good. I don't really know much about him.
He's a kid from the Get Down on Netflix, isn't he?
He might be. It said something about Netflix.
Yeah, it was like
Moore
a hip hop musical.
Yeah,
Get
it
Down.
says Moore was one of the stars of the hit 2015 independent film Dope, as well as Netflix's fun musical drama The Get Down.
Yeah, he can dance and he can rap. I don't know if he can act, but that's all I know.
Me either.
We'll find out.
And then this
I'm surprised they didn't stick with Donald Glover, because wasn't he doing the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon voice?
He's doing the Han Solo movie. So.
Right, he's got a lot of dogs on the fire.
Yeah, he's doing that show Atlanta too. So, according to the Drop News, The Punisher has officially wrapped production and the wait for the trailer is on. It says, I can't wait for a trailer. I want it. It's supposed to be coming this year. I remember that got leaked on actually on Netflix here a while back, and it was like somebody screenshot it. It was one of those, you know how Netflix has those little things that like cycle back and forth at the top, and it was like it showed the Punisher logo and it said coming 2017 or something like that. It was only up there for just a little while, and then they like took it down. But you know the internet's gonna screenshot it. And then of course we have the news that everybody knows: Josh Brolin to play Cable in Deadpool 2. I know some people said they wasn't down for that, but I actually think he'll nail it. I mean, Josh Brolin's an amazing actor. So, like, what do you guys think?
I think he fits perfect. I mean, I think he looks like the character enough that it will play it physically, and I think he's got the acting chops to pull off that dry kind of. I mean, Cable's Deadpool's Yang, does Yang, you know, like that. So I think he does it. I think it's a little too much for him playing Thanos and Cable, but that's my own opinion. But I think he nailed it pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, look at the picture that it's showing right there. Tell me that don't look like him.
Yeah, I hope that they go out of their way to make some Thanos jokes in the movie.
They will.
If they can do that and pull that off without inciting any sort of interstudio lawsuit, that would be kind of cool. I'm
pretty sure they can do that. I don't know if they will because of the whole, want to play well with. But anyway, yeah, I think it'll be awesome, man. Look at that. All them Liefeld patches on that cool. All right, and now the one that everybody's been waiting for. We got a poster for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. We were gonna talk about the trailer to show the trailer, but we decided not to do that because last time we showed a trailer, we got a copyright strike. So we're just gonna leave this up here and look at this and talk about what we thought of the trailer, I guess. What did you guys think about it? I thought it was amazing.
I got goosebumps. I cried again.
You cry all the time, Mike, though, so it doesn't. Your cry meter does not depict anything.
Once you hit my age, you cry a lot because
you're not much older than me.
Oh, I forget.
Man,
yeah.
When it showed Ray's hand on the ground and the rocks rising, I got a little Zack Snyder Batman vs Superman feel to it, and also Man of Steel when Superman had his fist on the ground and the rocks rose.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a really cool thing to do with the Force, But and then Luke, he's lost his faith, and at the end of the trailer he says it's time for the Jedi to end, and I'm like, what?
So the trailer was a solid teaser. It didn't give away too much, and I dug the imagery that they did show us. But I just don't think that as a trailer, it compares to the teaser trailer we got for Thor Ragnarok, which I thought was the best trailer I've seen in a long time. So that being fresh in my mind, I think it kind of took a little of the luster away from the Last Jedi trailer.
The only thing that took me out of the Thor Ragnarok trailer was all the color. It seems like Guardians of the Galaxy busted on the screen with James Gunn putting all the color in there, and now everything in the Marvel Universe has to have those bright colors.
I actually dig that. I like the fact that they're building a cohesive cosmic universe, and they're taking the lead from Guardians, because the first couple of Thor movies, I enjoyed them personally, but they're not super popular when you think of Marvel movies, and especially the aesthetic of the second one left a lot to be desired. Very, very bland color palette in that. And I like the fact that they're bringing some more of that fun and that liveliness to Thor that they didn't have previously, that they've gotten from the Guardians. So I think that going in and then bringing everything together with Infinity War, they're kind of trying to paint with the same palette in the cosmic universe. But back to the Last Jedi, I think that all the lightsaber action that we saw on that is definitely a step up from what we got in Episode 7, and I'm excited for it. I am.
Mike, what were you going to say about Ragnarok?
I have never been a Thor fan. Not too much. I never picked up the books. But between Unworthy Thor and this freaking trailer, Jesus Christ, man. You take my money.
Yeah, I mean, make no mistake about it. I believe Thor's going to be an awesome movie, but it's just that teaser trailer. I mean, throws Led Zeppelin in there with the whole undertones of the Norse god stuff under there, and it was like, it was okay. I mean,
excuse me.
I thought it was really good. I mean, I tried to get all the Marvel movies on Blu-ray. I don't have any of the Thor movies because I wasn't a huge fan of the first two. But this one's got me stoked. You're talking about goosebumps seeing a trailer. That one made me get goosebumps. Like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I think they could have left Hulk out of there. I mean, I understand why they would do it, trying to get more people in, but even having Thor saying, "Hey, I know you from work," or "We're friends from work," and not show Hulk could have been a cool moment in the movie to see. Like, holy crap, there's Hulk. But
I have a feeling that scene's not even in the movie.
Oh, it better be.
I don't know, man. From what I've heard, I mean, the Hulk will be in there a pretty much majority of the movie. So, because it's supposed to be like a buddy cop on the run kind of thing, like this way. One of the synopsises that are things that I heard, this is before the trailer was even out. So, but who knows?
Yeah, well, I watched the trailer. I watched the Ragnarok trailer with my wife, who really could not give a crap about anything comics related at all. And the scene where, Hulk comes out and he's so excited to see his friend from work, that had her laughing out loud. So if it's got her laughing out loud and excited to see this movie, that's going to put a lot of butts in seats.
Yeah.
See, I wonder how much they're going to pull from the World War Hulk story arc. I mean, Silver Surfer's in that, though. I mean, he plays kind of a key part in that.
Spoiler alert, he won't be in there.
No. But, I mean, they definitely able to twist and turn and make his stories adapt to whatever rights they have, But I wonder how close it's going to stay to that and stay to the Thor,
Probably not close at all. I think that using the Grand Master as a substitute for the Red King in the Planet Hulk gives them the opportunity to do some Contest of Champions style stuff where they're having the battle, they're having the gladiator type arena, but they don't have to go into all the story points of Planet Hulk that kind of make it way too convoluted to shove into a Thor movie.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about, trying to put too much of that stuff in there. What would they do? What would they cut? Maybe it's only a small part of it, where the Thor and Hulk fight. That may be the only reference to that at all. So, okay. Anything else you got there, Jeremy, on your...
That's pretty much all I got. Let me see if I can get back.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh, don't show me.
I just had to stop sharing my
screen. So we'll go ahead and close the curtains on Jeremy or Trinitys Superhero Cinema. I still have yet to get that right. And how long have we been doing that?
I don't know. We're doing it a long
Months. Okay, so we're going
1984?
1984, yes. I was only 8 years old. I started this when I was 8 years old. The gray has gotten to my beard so quick. So we'll go ahead and jump right back down the line. And any last-minute thoughts, any shout-outs you'd like to do before we head out of here? Let's start with you, Drew.
Shout-outs. I've got a lot of new subs on my channel because I just did my 100 subscriber contest. We got a big winner right now on the panel with Spectacular Spider Grandpa. I got to get his information and send him out some stuff. So big shout out to the Spider Grandpa, especially a big shout out to everybody on the panel for inviting me to do this tonight. Really appreciate that. As far as shout outs to some folks who are not around and on the panel right now, Gizmo17 is a fantastic channel. I suggest you guys go check them out. It's a husband and wife team. They do comic hauls, some really, really great stuff there. My buddy Soma Hobbies, Andrew, is building some model kits that he had from the 70s. He built the Darth Vader TIE Fighter. He's doing the Emperor right now, putting that together, painting it up, doing some work on that. And it's fun to watch his process. Also, shout out to Tito over at Kingdom Comics. He's been interacting with me a lot lately and really like his stuff. So check out those channels.
Thank you. Mike? Mike? Hey, Mike.
Yes.
You put your hearing aids back in. It's your turn.
I hate you all.
You know you do when you come back every Friday anyhow.
What?
Do you have any shout outs?
Turn up your hearing aid.
Go ahead.
I hate you. I want to shout out Buckshot 33. He is a new daddy. He just had a baby out like 3 or 4 days ago. So shout out to Buckshot 33. A couple new subscribers of mine, Ray. She's got 12 subs, so go check her out. Geek Out Cinema, 103 subs, so go check out him. And Airborne Sapper, again, thank you for the awesome act of kindness. I appreciate it so much. And the Pittsburgh Penguins. So.
Oh, you must be watching
that's all I got.
Hockey in the background.
Let's go Caps.
What?
Jeremy, how about you?
Shout out to everybody in the chat. You know what's up. Trinity Winfrey in the house. Just shout out to everybody, man. I don't know. I don't have anybody specific to shout out, except for Paul, our brother Paul, who is homesick. His whole household is sick, so we wish him all the best to get better. Everybody go with your family. If you celebrate it, go to church and celebrate, Easter. Remember, it's not about Easter bunnies. It's about the cross.
Happy Easter.
And the sacrifice that was made for you and me. But anyway, I know Alex the comic recorder knows what's up. He's still in here. I ain't seen him write nothing in a while. Anybody, just shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all for coming out on Good Friday and supporting us. Shout out to Drew for actually being available short, at the last minute to coming on. I think he knocked it out of the park tonight. So.
Oh, thank you.
So.
Yeah, I can retire now.
You can retire?
Yeah, you found my replacement. You always wanted a replacement.
I just got to get some shark covers and some cheesecake covers there with some boobies on them.
Yeah,
I'll take your spot, Mike.
That's all you got to do. That's all it is.
Mike, you do realize we have a British clone of you. We can always just substitute.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Spectacular Spider UK.
Yeah, spectacular British geek guy. British geeky guy.
Shout out to Mrs. DGG.
Oh, yeah.
I love Mrs. DGG.
I think there was an extra G in there. DGG.
I think so, too. Definitely thank you for DruManchu for jumping in. And, sometimes it's really hard when you have somebody else new coming into the group, and not being able to interact with others very much before the show. I think it went really well, and you flowed really well with us, so I definitely appreciate you coming in and joining us tonight. And everybody else in the chat, thank you for showing up. Couple contests ending tonight at midnight. What's 8:46 where I am, but Deadpool 23's contest is ending tonight. PopCap has his 200 to 250 sub contest going on still. I think that is the 20th. Go check those guys out and enter their contest. Great way to get some books and some other stuff. We have a con coming up in my area, Southern Oregon. I don't know if anybody else is here is from Pacific Northwest, but it's a free Comic-Con On the 29th, I'll probably be going to that. Nobody special is going to be there. We're not going to have any guests or anything, but it's just a cool way to be able to get, hopefully grow bigger and maybe get a bigger con here. I'm going to be. So I think that is all. So, of course, guys, whether you blast it or whether you stash it, happy reading, and we will see you next Friday.
Good night,
Happy
guys.
Easter.